My name is Cora and welcome to Craftopia, where we are creating a safe space for artists and crafters of all ages and experience levels to learn, create, explore, and grow. I'd like to invite you to check out our website at www.crafttopiawa.com, where you can learn more about our organization and vision and see a list of upcoming classes. You can also follow us on social media at CrafttopiaWA. Now, pull up a chair, get comfortable, and let's get crafty.
Today we'll be making these fun string art pumpkins on our paper plates. I'm going to show you two different ways to do your string art pumpkin today. So you've got your nice long piece of orange string here. First things first, regardless of which way you go, you got to start by getting that string on your needle. Got a nice big needle here, pinch that yarn, poke it through that hole, and drag it through. You've got a lot of yarn, so I recommend starting about halfway, and then you can always go back and thread more if you need it. You might not use up all the yarn that you've got today. It depends on which option of pumpkin you decide you want to do. All right, so now that I've got my yarn on my needle here, I've got all of my holes here. You're going to notice that there's a little dip and then a point and then a dip. There's also one on the bottom, a dip, a point, and a dip. This is going to be either the top or bottom of your pumpkin. It really doesn't matter which way you put up. It'll look pretty much the same either direction. To start, we are just going to make an outline of our pumpkin. And you're going to do this regardless of which pumpkin you want to do. So we're going to take our needle. We're going to poke it through our plate. Does not matter which one you start on. We're going to pull it all the way through so that there's just a little bit left behind. So you want to leave, it's about maybe 3 or 4 inches on the back side. That way you'll be able to tie it when you're all done. Now we're going to be doing what's known as a back stitch in embroidery today. So we're going to go ahead and poke it through another hole next to it. Again, doesn't matter which way you go. Oh, my pipe cleaner wants to get involved. Not yet, silly pipe cleaner. All right, so for the back stitch, we're going to come up in the next hole and then go down in the hole we were just at. Then we'll come up in the next hole, go down in the hole we were just at. So I'm going to poke it through our next hole. Pull all that yarn. And then I'm actually going to go back into the hole I was in prior, hence the back stitch. Pull all that yarn through. All right, come up in the next empty hole. Pull it all through. And then down back into the hole I was at. This is going to give you a nice clean outline. And we'll actually give you an outline on both sides. This one's going to be a little chunkier though. So we're going to do that all the way around our pumpkin until we have all of him outlined. All right, so I'm at my last stitch here. I'm going to go up there, try not to pull my starting piece with it, which it likes to try to do. There we go. And in my last hole. And now I will have my entire pumpkin outlined. So this is option number 1, is just to keep the outline of your pumpkin. If that's what you want to do, then you simply go ahead and tie this in the back and cut off the rest of your string because you don't need it. If you're doing this, then it's really fun. It gives you this whole area here that you could decorate like a jack-o'-lantern. So I kind of cheated. I put it on a piece of paper because I'm actually going to keep going as well. But see, you could decorate him up, have a jack-o'-lantern. You've got a little stem here that you can just wrap around your finger and get nice and curly. And then you can poke it in the top here, fold it over, and there you go. You'd have I have a very funky little there we go. Now I have a very happy little jack-o'-lantern. So that's certainly an option for you. If you want to keep going with your string art, you can do that as well. Let me get the face out of the way. I'm going to move him for now. So if you want to continue using the rest of your yarn that you've got, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come up in a hole, but instead of going in the next one, we're going to go in one on the opposite side. Now, it doesn't really matter which one you go in, as long as you are consistent about going at least 1 or 2 holes away. So if I come up in this one, I don't want to go here, I wouldn't see anything. It would just be a blob. So we want to make sure that it's crossing some white space. So I'm going to go ahead and start right in this hole where I originally started. I'm going to pull my yarn through, And then I'm gonna go opposite, across my pumpkin and go there. Now, in order to be efficient in my string use, I'm gonna come up in a hole that's next to this now instead of going all the way back, because you're not gonna see the backside, so we don't really need to make it pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and go up in the hole right next to where I came up. And then I'm gonna go down over here. And again, you can choose any of the holes you want. Depending on how you do, will create a different pattern. So have fun and experiment and see what cool things that you can make. If you want to keep it simple and straight and clean, then you can just keep going one whole side at a time. If you want to make it look a little bit more like a crazy Halloween spider web, then jump around and you'll get some really cool effects. All right, so I kind of just went a little bit here and there. I started going around in a circle and then just started randomly crossing things. So I'm almost out of yarn here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull off my yarn needle and find my original tail and just make a nice double knot there. 1, 2, trim off the rest of the ends if you want. And then I'm gonna take, let's see, do I like that side better as the top? That side better as the top. I think I like this side better as the top. So I'm gonna take that stem I had already curled from the last one, shove it through that hole again. And now I have a very fun little string art pumpkin. Ta-da! I hope you had a good time.
We hope you had a good time crafting with us today. If you have any questions regarding this project, feel free to leave a comment below or send us an email at info@crafttopiawa.com. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any future crafty goodness. Until next time!